Okay, let's watch the dev thing. The dev thing is coming on. It just came out. Let's go. Let's see what's up. Let us see what's up, baby.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul, aka Pabro.
And I'm Andre, also known as Medler. Today is October 30th, which is a bit earlier than usual, because we're flying to Worlds soon, and we wanted to film this before we left.
Okay.
This is our last dev update of the year, and before we get into some of the things you'll see in Season 1 2026, we wanted to thank you all for being on the journey with us this year.
As always, want to show some love for your passion, for keeping us honest, and for making working on this game so worth it. Now, in January, we'll be back.
Wait, what time's up? Stream's over. My bad.
Talk more about Season 1, as well as a little bit of what to expect for the rest of 2026 overall. But for now, let's get into it.
We learned a lot this year about seasons. Many of you liked what came with the themes, the map art updates, metagames, new champions, and champ updates overall, for example. But we also saw that if we leaned too hard into a region, it could feel very one note, especially when it comes to skins. And as it turns out, there is too much of a thing like Noxus.
A lot of red and black.
Yeah,
I agree.
So we'll continue to find the right balance for thematic seasons moving forwards.
I saw the screenshot on Twitter. They're gonna do like a little bit more mild design of the map with the Demacia. It's got the core Demacian features, but nothing absolutely too crazy. Just like a different flavor of the split, which makes sense.
It's time to talk about Season 1 of 2026. For this, we wanted a contrast from 2025, with its ancient danger, a dark inn, and quite a bit of scheming throughout. So next year, we want to kick things off with themes of unity, hope, and justice. With a drop of righteous judgment.
Unless you're a mage. Unless you're a mage, then off to the gulag.
So that means Petricite, gold, and blue accents on the map, as well as some Demacia-themed skins, including some champions.
Oh, that's so sick. Oh my! What? That's so cool.
Non-Demacia skins for some variety.
That Cho'Gath's incredible.
It also means that the yearly cinematic in January will feature Demacian champions. We're going back to old school Demacia this time, back in time to what some might consider the golden age of Demacia, when it was a big...
That Cho'Gath is like when you get that ultra rare Digimon transformation after like watching for 4 seasons or some shit. It's just like incredible. It just looks infinitely better than Galio and basically anything Demacian. Just so good.
Beacon of hope and a bastion of justice.
Hey Andre, are we forgetting something?
I don't think so.
You sure?
Nah, yeah, let's keep going. I don't want this to drag on.
Anyway, we have a range of Summoner's Rift changes that the team will talk about in a moment, and this year we'll also talk about some updates to Swift Play. With that, we're going to hand it over to Riot and Step and Freak, who will walk you through some of the Summoner's Rift changes coming in January.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Riot and Step.
Okay.
And I'm Freak. And we're here to talk to you about the Summoner's Rift gameplay changes coming in January.
Over the last few years, League has been largely about team fighting over neutral objectives. Fighting around grubs, dragons, or that vision ward you just placed.
Is that like on leaving?
And while we know 5v5s make for some of the highest highs, we want to swing back towards a state where more strategies like splitting or sieging are more viable.
So we're making some changes to major neutral objectives, towers, and minions in order to do just that.
Additionally, we're making adjustments to roles so everyone has an appropriate impact on the outcome of each game, because right now, some lanes are much better at turning a winning lane into a winning game.
Yeah. We also have some delightful improvements, so let's get started.
I think this is one of those like losing battles because there will always be differences between champions even within each role. So it's just kind of impossible to tackle. It's impossible to reach perfect equality. I agree that you kind of should strive for it, but God, I'm just curious how they're going to do it because it's just such a daunting task.
The first thing you'll notice in January is that the game starts faster. We want to reduce downtime after you load in, so minions and basic jungle camps first spawn 35 seconds earlier than they do today.
Whoa!
You'll still be able to pull off early invades, but you'll have to be much more decisive when you load in.
We're also making some changes to vision.
This is more like an out of game concept. They're doing it like very, very fast, but this is specifically for to be more in loop. I feel like this doesn't seem to be a design decision within the game to make the gameplay better, but to make you spend more in-game time in relative to the entire game time of your session, right? So you're gonna spend more time in game, and that's absolutely the correct choice. That's why we've been pushing the entire fucking time for the years against the surrenders and the dodges and how to fix the game in a way where it's way more efficient with a more efficient lobby, the load up. And then this is also one of the design avenues for it. Cool.
An incredibly powerful tool in League, but right now it feels monopolized by supports and sometimes by junglers. We want to make effectively warning the map easier to learn for everyone, and give more opportunities and power towards drops by pushing champions, especially mid and top laners who are side laning later in the game.
So, we're adding Phalites, locations that grant temporary bonus vision to wards with unique bonus vision areas for each.
Oh, so this is the thing that like I saw on the Demacian map. There are 2 right outside of the base. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Locations that grant temporary bonus vision to wards with unique bonus vision areas for each spot. Some Phalite rings will be available at the beginning of each game, while others reveal themselves when the Elemental Rift transforms, particularly those that would otherwise disrupt early game jungle.
Okay, so on to the objectives. Otacon was one of the biggest additions to the Rift this year, and was a pretty cool, unique objective to fight over. That said, he contributed to objective fatigue, which many of you cited as an issue, and we agree. We wanted to alleviate this over time. We had removed the second form of Otacon, we removed the second set of grubs, but it really wasn't enough. So, just like Zehen did, we are cutting Otacon out of the game. That includes
I really like Otacon, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Otacon because it throws the game off. I'm gonna need them to do something similar that throws the game off. I don't want the game to be too monotonous and have the exact same, like, 5-minute dragon timers, and that every single dragon and like the dragon and grubs are somewhat equal, and they require the same amount of tempo generally in the game. So it's either going to be the trade or the stomping team is going to get both in like the same time intervals. The same thing that happens with the herald. They're all like 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 objectives, and then Baron is a 2. Baron requires twice as much tempo, twice as much time. Otacon was a neat 1.5. It changed the game. It tricked a lot of people and made a lot of very cool decision making, like, can you do the Otacon properly? It just makes people, it's more difficult to make decisions. And finding around Otacon was very cool. So having like an objective that's a bit more difficult to do and takes a bit more time, I really like that because it changes how the game flows. And if the game is becoming a little bit too stale and getting into an exact same beat, Otacon would throw it off, and that would be like your last-ditch effort to make a comeback team fight, or for the enemy team, like to solidify their advantage. I really like Otacon for those reasons. I agree that it was a little bit too cluttered, because there's always something to fight for, but I really hope they do something similar. I don't know what and how.
That said, let us know what you think about limited time gameplay changes and if there's something you'd like to see more of.
But back to Otacon, his removal also means that Baron will go back to his old 20-minute spawn time. Welcome back, King.
Additionally, we're making all epic monsters more durable,
That looks cool.
especially late game dragons as you get closer to Dragon Soul. That should make it so that it's easier for teams on the back foot to contest dragons and...
Yeah, see, they're predicting the problem by removing the Otacon, so they're instantly trying to counteract it by making the dragon scale a bit better and be more tougher. This is also going to speed up the games, inevitably. Earlier Baron, going to speed up the games. You load up into the games quicker. Games are going to be quicker. There is a chance that there's going to be more early game orientation, more surrenders, and high chance of mental crash outs. Even now, like that last game, Katarina losing her goddamn mind, even though we're playing 4v5 30 minutes in. And like Ambessa comes back just as we lose, and she's bitching. Like, even now, people crash out, and the game has plenty of opportunities to play the game. I'm worried. Let's see.
Epic monsters, or trade something meaningful on the other side of the map.
Finally, we're also removing feats of strength from the game. We like that they push teams to progress the game and provided goals to rally around, but we think we can create better game systems that allow for players to have more individual agency over their games. With feats getting the boot, we're adding back some gold rewards for First Blood and First Turret.
Another way we're looking to improve...
I like that the First Turret and First Blood give more gold. I obviously, you can't stack them with the feats. It's cool. It's fine. It's a nice, fun... it's just to shape things up, you know, just a little bit of shake around of the meta. We'll see how it flows.
Is with the new mechanic called Crystalline Overgrowth, which is kind of like a universal demolish effect. Crystals will build up on towers over several minutes, and when hit, they're consumed to deal an extra burst of damage based on how much buildup.
Wait, what?
Crystalline Overgrowth, which
First Turret.
Another way we're looking to improve sieging is with the new mechanic called Crystalline Overgrowth, which is kind of like a universal demolish effect. Crystals will build up on towers over several minutes, and when hit, they're consumed.
So if you haven't touched the turret in a while, that's going to benefit the sieging team. Okay. This is dude, anything like, this game is so goddamn complex that it's very, very difficult to think about things. And my entire chat's like, L, it looks stupid, L. It's like, okay, my bad, you guys calculated every foreseeable event in the future in like half a second of knowing about this thing. God damn, you guys are supercomputers here. Okay, in a way, it's pretty bad because, let's say, like, in a way it can feel really bad because if you're defending really, really valiantly and eventually the enemy team crushes your team, then they reach your turret, it's gonna feel really bad for you to lose extra damage and get punished for defending really well. On the other hand, it incentivizes the attacking team to attack multiple different points and shift around, so you're not sieging the exact same turrets all the time. Also, if you compensate and make turrets a bit tankier, pushing turret back to back, 2 of them, you will obviously not have the crystalline overgrowth if you destroy tier 2, and then the tier 3 won't have it, right? So it's going to be tougher to break versus, like, let's say hitting tier 2 and then rotating to tier 2 on the blood. So it's going to incentivize some rotations. Now the question is how much, what are the numbers going to be? How balanced it's going to be? I think it shouldn't be too much. I think it should be just enough to feel good about proccing it, you know, and to incentivize a little bit. So it's got some good things and bad things on paper. Again, it's such a chaotic environment. Like, I don't dare venture a guess whether this is going to make the game objectively better or worse. I have no fucking clue. I can just give you these ideas of what I think is going to happen, but it's just too damn complex. I need to see it in the game.
To deal an extra burst of damage based on how much buildup has accumulated. This should help enable pushing windows in more situations, even if you're behind or don't have the highest DPS. Demolish will be sticking around, but will be simplified to a good old 3-hit passive.
3-hit passives.
Yes, we do.
Turret plates will now stay on outer turrets permanently and will be added to the inner and inhibitor towers as well. We're doing this to create long-term piecemeal rewards for pushing. No matter what state the turret's in, you're likely to mine some gold by taking aggressive actions. We're not adding more gold to the map with these changes. Instead, we're going to be basically spreading out the current gold for killing a tower and splitting it across the plates.
To further facilitate pushing, we're...
Okay, this change I'm not sure about. Why are we doing this? I'm actually curious what the...
We're ramping up minion respawn rates.
Oh, they didn't even give the reason why. They just said, like, it's happening. I don't really understand why this is happening. I mean, you want to reward... They clearly want to reward people for hitting the turret. Like, let's say you push somebody in, you hit the turret a little bit, back off. Get back in, constant sieging, right? Yeah, you will get gold for like 5 different notches on the turret instead of just the one. It's going to be the same exact money. So instead of the side lane turret giving you 1,000, it's going to give you like 200, 200, 200, 200, and 200. So it's going to give you the same amount. It's just going to be spent over time. Again, I like the tactical decision to, okay, we're going to try to finish this turret to cash out the reward. A little bit of like delay between getting the reward. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you really got to commit your time and effective rotation in order to cash out a specific turret. You got to invest specific amount of tempo. The way it works now is like, oh, do you have an opportunity? Go for it, push. It's going to be more selfish environment, less tactical in a game sense, more selfish and more lane power. If you can dominate your own lane, you're not necessarily incentivized to roam, especially now with no Atakan, and you just continue to push, and take the money, cash it out, rob it. This is one of those where I would predict it would have a negative effect if I had to make a guess right now. I think it would be negative to the game quality, but we'll see.
Adding more gold to the map with these changes. Instead, we're going to be basically spreading out the current gold for killing a tower and splitting it across the plates.
To further facilitate pushing, we're ramping up minion respawn rates in the late game to give more frequent access to sieging turrets. We're also adjusting late game home guards to swiftly take you to your most pushed minion wave in each lane.
And finally, next turrets will respawn with partial
to your most...
There's so many changes! People saying like, oh, there's just too little changes in the game. They're like reworking the entire goddamn Summoner's Rift, how everything works. There's so much to go through. So you get this like gust of wind slipstream idea to the most push lane that you can really rush to it, giving you less time moving, more time at the turret. Hitting the turrets is also going to be rewarded more. It's split pushers, quick recoil boots seem fucking insane right here. Quick recoil boots, and then you rush up to the first turret. And then continue the siege. So constantly choking enemies out. Bro, what is there to do when you're behind, though? What even is there to do when you're behind? There's no Atacant that the enemies can throw off of. They're just gonna do the dragons. The Barons are 20 minutes. It feels like the game is like gonna be just a full-blown skirmisher. Like a full-blown fight, skirmish, flip, FF angle.
More frequent access to sieging turrets.
Because you can't just sit under your turret. Like, even if you have good wave clear and they're chipping the plates away, like you're losing 60% of the map, you're losing the surface control of the jungle, you're losing an occasional camp, and every objective in the river.
So adjusting Lakeum home guards to swiftly take you to your most pushed minion wave in each lane.
And finally, Nexus turrets will respawn with partial health missing. We like that the respawn allows a team to hold their base for a while and not have to worry about getting backdoored by a Twitch, but with a full health respawn, it meant that it was honestly incorrect for a sieging team to finish killing the turret sometimes.
Now,
I mean, that's the gamble aspect of it. It's like bone regrowth, you know, like the bone grows denser when you kind of smash it. I kind of like that aspect of it. You make a tactical choice when you're sieging a turret, whether you want to commit to it, and if you commit and fail, you get obviously punished for it because you made the incorrect choice. For a sieging team to commit and fail, and then come back and the turrets are shit and you can 2-tap them, it's like you didn't really get punished, you know, because you're still holding the map, you're still holding the inhibitors, even if you fail in the end play. I don't know, like, I think that was a correct idea to have. I think that's a correct idea to have. I feel like we're moving so much away from tactical gameplay in this season. There's too many things that might have a very, very nasty compounding effect. But again, oh my god, it's going to be... We're really going to try this, but the way I'm guessing is going to be selfish lane power. You want characters with, like, very little to no resource management, continuous push siege control, and just constantly, like, you just gotta outpace the enemies. You don't really have anything to use your tempo on, so you just continue to be greedy and be in lane.
Biggest change for next year, role quests.
When you load into the game in January, top, bot, and mid lane will now have their own quests that reward unique power, similar to the jungle pet evolutions and the support item upgrades.
You'll progress these new quests by killing minions, champions, plates, towers, or epic objectives. All the things you'd normally be doing in a game.
Okay.
You'll progress even faster by doing those in your assigned lane.
Your quest is decided by which role you've been assigned in the lobby, so if you and a friend or a stranger want to change roles, make sure you do an official trade in Champ Select.
One of our goals with these role quests is to buff top and bot carry relative to the other roles, as they're currently the two weakest, and as a result, the quest rewards are going to be comparatively stronger for them. Now, let's get into the rewards, which will be...
So, I generally don't like this sort of stuff, because you're essentially hard-coding roles. I don't like what they've done with the smite. I don't like what they've done with the sticky support item. I don't like hard coding these solutions, and now they're trying to do it for all 5 lanes, which allows them to much easier manipulate who's supposed to be where and when, and they can punish you, or like in the more effective way, they can actually incentivize you to be in specific lanes. They're playing a little bit too much God, trying to dictate how the gameplay is going to go without any sort of modular design, so we'll see.
In a new role quest slot.
Historically, top laners haven't always felt like they have the agency over the games that they deserved, even if they won their lane, and that's something we would like to change this season. Upon quest completion, top laners will receive pretty much summoner teleport for free on top of the 2 summoners they...
Like, here's what for example, my problem with this would be, like, let's say Riot wants to create certain gameplay, and they can't. We're gonna watch this in a second again. Like, they can create whatever they want. They can enforce, for example, this sort of like teleport style, teleport meta. They can enforce staying in your lane or roaming. They can do that. They can make your quest be like, oh, kill a laner that's not in your lane, because every single role is hard-coded. And now you can go and just, your job is to just bully somebody else and abandon your laner, or like to stick with your laner. So you give your AD carry assist, you know, that might be like a support thing or some stupid shit like that. And then it's enforcing specific type of gameplay to use, stifling creativity. Okay, let's see.
Pretty much so, and that's something we would like to change this season. Upon quest completion, top laners will receive pretty much summoner teleport for free on top of the 2 summoners they already chose. Now, if you had taken teleport in pregame, instead that spell gets a lot stronger, giving a very, very large shield when you use it. In addition to getting a functionally free summoner spell, top laners will also get a bunch of bonus XP up front, more XP from future sources, and an increased level cap.
Now,
so, okay, top laners with 3 summoners, that's gonna be spicy. That's gonna be spicy. Like, nobody's gonna be running teleport then. Because as we mentioned, all of these things incentivize more selfish gameplay. There's no real reason to move around. Like, you're just gonna play your own lane. Play your own lane, get a teleport. And even that teleport, like, you never have to use it, really. You slipstream to your own lane, and then maybe for one key objective. Again, like, stifling all sort of comeback. You don't care. Like, if you're ahead, you got infinite tempo.
Use it. In addition to getting a functionally free summoner spell, top laners will also get a bunch of bonus XP up front, more XP from future sources, and an increased level cap.
Now,
so level 19.
A huge variety of champions can be played there, so we wanted this reward to be good whether you're mage, assassin, or both, like Malphite mid. And upon completing the quest, mid laners will receive a free tier 3 boot upgrade like the ones you could buy with feats, as well as a faster recall.
Rounding it out for
tier 3 boot upgrade like the ones you could buy with feats, as well as a faster recall.
Rounding it out.
Is that forever? Wait. This is like, they're just skipping through so many things. And it's so ambiguous. We're not even like 1/3 in the video. So you get it forever. You get the boots forever, like the fast upgrade forever, and upgraded boots.
Mid lane. A huge variety of champions can be played there, so we wanted this reward to be good whether you're mage, assassin, or both, like Malphite mid. And upon completing the quest, mid laners will receive a free tier 3 boot upgrade like the ones you could buy with feats, as well as a faster recall.
Rounding it out.
This is just what I said. That I figured that the meta in this sort of playstyle, it should be that you go symbiotic souls. Because the only thing stifling you from moving back to the map is the long recall time. If you remove that with a slipstream and running to the lane and sticking in your own lane is the correct thing, that's what you're supposed to do. So you want to get the symbiotic souls ASAP, because that might be the most broken playstyle. You really want to maximize the time in your lane and sieging and being there. The empowered recall seems absolutely broken to me in this meta.
For new quests in bot lane, we're going to lean even harder into the carry part of the role. So while top laners getting bonus XP, bot laners are getting a whole bunch of extra gold. When completing their quest, they get a lump sum of gold, increased gold from minion kills, champ kills, and champion assists for the rest of the game. And you might be asking, well then what do I do with all this gold if I hit item cap? Don't worry, the item cap is going up. Your 7th item slot will hold your boots permanently, allowing you to get 6 full legendary items for extra hard late game scaling.
Holy.
Jungle and support already have quests and rewards, but we still wanted to take this opportunity to...
What the hell? Moneymaker AD carry. I kind of like thematically that they're like in the money business. Again, it's a little bit too much hard coding for me. But, oh man, this is so wild. Because the whole idea for AD carry is that they're kind of pissed until they get items like that, and the spikes are solid, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, what? Like, if the cashback is still around, you play first strike, cashback, and then you get the cashback for every single item person. You can go up to 7, so you can really milk your money's worth out of that one on ADC. You basically become Bezos.
Jungle and support already have quests and rewards, but we still wanted to take this opportunity to make
Frost Queen's claim, Frost Queen's claim, Frost Queen's claim, please, Twin Shadows. Come on!
Jungle is by far the strongest role in the game right now, especially when it comes to early map influence. So we're slightly lowering the speed of early game clears to give lane matchups a little bit more time to play out uninterrupted. We're also making it early in the game right now, especially when it comes to early map influence. So we're slightly lowering the speed, making it harder for non-junglers to steal objectives by increasing their resists and making Smite deal more damage.
Their role quest is still getting pet upgrades.
Why is it again Smite more damage? Now it's 1400 Smite. It's always the Smite doing more damage. So this is another tactical aspect of the game where, like, back in the day, you could move into the enemy jungle and kind of steal some camps. Now as a mid laner, unless you're like a perfectly designed character to actually take down Wolf, it's just impossible for you to take down Wolf or a Raptor or something. It's disgustingly difficult to kill anything. And now it's going to be even tankier for regular people, but softer, well, not softer, but like kind of ratioed for junglers. So just, I don't know, like, again, another reason less to leave your lane.
and PvP smite like before, and they're now getting increased golden XP from large monsters when the quest is done, as well as bonus movement speed in the jungle.
Similar to jungle, we think support is already plenty powerful and has a very functional role quest, so we didn't want to directly increase their power. With that in mind, we wanted to give them quality of life oriented upgrades, so we're giving them a new slot exclusively for control wards, discounts on control wards, and a little bit more gold over time so they can keep pace a little better with the other roles.
Okay.
Overall, we want these quests to represent meaningful power.
As the support gets the shittiest version, it's just a little bit of quality of life, really, and some money. Probably not going to be anything meaningful. I don't know. I thought they were going to give you like a Vigilant Warstone 7th item or something, so it doesn't block you in the late game. I don't know, man. No Frost Queen claim.
Keep pace a little better with the other roles.
Overall, we want these quests to represent meaningful power spikes in a way that leans into the unique strengths of each role. This also allows us to delete the lane swap detective mechanic that we added last year to combat pro lane swapping. We'll be keeping a close eye on how quests land, so please let us know your thoughts next year.
But
so yeah, they're gonna use the quest to basically Big Brother observe every single move that you do, and there's gonna monitor you 24/7 wherever you move. And if you're in the wrong lane, you're gonna get hit hard. You're gonna get insta punished.
Aren't all we have planned to make your champions feel more satisfying. We're gonna bring back a few items to the Rift for each class, so give them some shiny new toys, including bringing back a few familiar favorites like Hextech Gunblade.
For example, we're adding the new Scepter of Bonking for AP fighters, which will empower your Spellblade Bonk to double your on-hit effects.
That's not the final name, is it?
I would like it, but no, we're probably gonna give it something in canon.
I do love bonking. Well, anyway, given none of these names are final, if you're an AD fighter without a good way to get Omnivamp, you can grab Blood Sphere, which will give you some Omnivamp and also ability haste scaling with your AD.
Or if you play an AD carry who's really good at auto-spacing, you can pick up Snowbow for extra range on takedown, plus damage amp based on how far away you are from your opponents.
We took a hard look at which subclasses didn't feel like they were getting enough support from the current item system and worked to fill those spaces. So we're hoping many champions have at least one of the 9 new items that they can get excited about.
Speaking of which, we're also adding crit damage back 200%.
Alright, we know that was a lot to cover. We're excited to hear what you think of all these changes as the new season kicks off.
And in case you're looking for even more details or insights on these changes, make sure to check out the dev blog that's live right now.
We'll check
that's
the blog for items.
Rift team.
What is going on, man?
And we'll see you on the Rift.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay, for any one of the people who said like they're not changing anything, like god damn, were you wrong? They literally shaken everything up. Everything is going to be different. Everything's going to new. The meta will be absurd. And I think what's going to happen, like the last time, they're going to leave it until January, right? And then January, boom, it's all live. You don't get preseason or patch to work around. This is League of Legends too, in a way. We've moved so far away from regular League of Legends that this is so much removed. That also makes my theory about a different League of Legends even more credible. That means that they're moving in this like radical battle right skirmisher fighter skill check, really fast paced gameplay, in and out 20-25 minute games. Go in, bash the turret, win. You're playing mobile league, and then they do and release like a classic version of League of Legends. Then you play like season 2, and then so that they capture the older player base and the newer player base at the same time. I think they're moving this crazy direction. Spoiler: VelKoz will be one of the worst champions in the next patch. By the way, in the next season, he'll be one of the worst by far. A lot of the methodical, slower, structured champs will basically die. They don't get to play. Nothing new. I mean, he does decrease every year, but it's a radical shift. So all these champs, like, they get radically destroyed in the next patches. Because it's all about the lane power. It's all about the battle of attrition. You gotta be able to stay in there. If you have to, like, decide whether to buy mana just so you can function, like, fuck you, you know? Like, you're not gonna... You need to be able to push into the turret and completely side lane all the time, then invade and steal the camps without using any resource. Camps are even tougher to steal, so only like the most optimized characters for stealing the camps will be able to do so. So let's say you got Yone on the side lane. He can move in and basically regain health while he steals your Gromp or Krugs on side lanes, and he still continues the siege. So he just continues popping off. Oh man, it's gonna be ridiculous. I can't wait to play it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, There's just so many changes. I'm excited to play it. It's gonna be terrible for me, but I can't wait to play it.
About ranked. This year we've been making improvements to shorten queue times and make your matches more fair through improvements to inting and griefing detection.
Yep.
And, more recently, we ran a test in late September that reduced queue times by 40% at all ranks, in ranked, in EU West and Oceania. We want to double down on that work and make 2026 the best time yet to climb.
Okay, queue time lowering.
So next year, we'll be also tackling 2 common frustrations, mismatched teams and long queues. Something we want to address is visual rank disparity in lobbies as well. When players start their climbs late after a reset, you may see a bronze player in an otherwise gold game, which can feel particularly unfair. When in reality, that player was gold last season, but they haven't gotten back to that rank yet because they've had less time to play. So we're adding a climb indicator to loading screens when a player's MMR is higher than their visible rank.
It's such a ludicrous loop around. Like, what is this? But like, you see this, the community is so bad that people, like, if there's a platinum lobby and there's one gold, and they're like, why is there a gold player in my lobby? This filth, this gold elo, like, horrible person. Why is this unwashed peasant in my game? You know, and people act like that. It's so funny. It's just so obvious that, oh yeah, he's got higher MMR, that's why he's here. Or you got shitty MMR, that's why you're there. It's just so obvious to people, but you have to put these stupid-ass disclaimers for your community not to lose their shit. It's so goofy. It's so stupid. I reckon it will be somewhat effective because people, they kind of act like sheep, let's be real. And I got a better solution. Put fucking ELO, man. Just put the ELO number. Just put the number. That's it. Go back to ELO. It's infinitely better, but whatever.
This will let other players know that you're climbing quickly and your displayed rank hasn't caught up yet.
We're also making changes to how flex and solo duo MMR are calculated. A common pain point is someone who is silver in flex and, say, diamond in solo duo just stomping a bunch of games, when in reality they're truly diamond in both ladders. So this season, if your solo duo MMR is much higher than your flex MMR, the system should bring your flex rank a lot closer to your solo duo one. And that should mean flex matchups will feel a fair bit more balanced moving forward.
I don't care. Nobody cares about flex, guys.
Changes to autofill. The reality of the league is that certain roles are substantially more popular than others, and having an autofill jungler versus a jungle main can feel like an auto loss. This means that quite often people either dodge to avoid it or hold your lobby hostage in order to get you to dodge. When nobody likes queue times, this is an awful experience.
Like, if the... Okay, now here's a turning point. This can go into like multiple ways. He can say, we're gonna punish the dodges so people get to stick to the game and play it out, or they can cater to the people and say, okay, you're gonna choose no autofill in the jungle, which completely kills the purpose of the autofill in the first place, because the whole point of autofill is to fill you into the roles that are most necessary, which end up usually being jungle and sport, which are least popular. So if they cater to that, then you can tick that you don't want to get autofill there. The queue time is going to skyrocket, but they said that they want to lower it. So how that's going to be achieved? Okay, let's see.
So we have a number of changes to make autofill fairer, and to reward you for sticking with the role you're assigned when you do get autofilled. First, if someone on your team is autofilled, the system will try to match autofilled players by role.
Okay.
So an autofilled jungler versus another autofilled jungler, for example.
This sounds very, very good if it's doable in practice, because I think it is just with a couple of shuffles of the code efficiency of how it matches people. This is super doable without really hindering the queue time too much when we're doing improve the quality of the game.
If it can't match by roles, it will then of course fall back and try to ensure the same number of autofilled players on each team.
Okay, so they got
backup.
backup.
We do know, though, that even with that balance, autofill games can still feel discouraging when you play your best in a role that you didn't choose. That's why we're adding a new system called Aegis of Valor. If you autofill and earn a mastery score of C or greater, the Aegis will trigger. You won't lose any LP on a loss, or you'll earn double LP for a win.
Huh? What?
So
what?
you won't
What?
lose
What? What? Wait. You're
autofilled and earn a mastery score of C or greater, the Aegis will trigger.
C or greater. If you're in mastery score of C or greater, what the fuck is a mastery score? Is that like the score at the end? Oh, I think I think I understand what's happening here. Okay, so they really made this down. Okay, so this is cool. This is really, really cool. So if you get filled to a role that you don't want to play, and it's a really disadvantageous position for you, they're going to incentivize you in both ways. First of all, you will not get punished, so you will not really lose LP. Secondly, if you win, they're going to incentivize you to try hard, that you get double the LP, which is great. Okay? That's really, really cool. And then people always say this, like, what is going to inflate the LP? No, but it equalizes on both sides anyway. It's so easily tunable. It's a very, very cool thing. Now, they have to put a bar. They have to put a bar on somewhere because they've already foreseen the negative circumstance that this can happen with. And it's like, I don't care about playing a game on this stupid role. I don't care playing a game on Jungle Teemo. So I'm just going to fucking sprint it, hold the team, like run the game down, run around, you know, goof off, force them to surrender, FF15, I go play next and I don't lose anything, they lose, right? So you have to get certain score. Now, I don't know if C's high or low. I don't really track those scores. I'm guessing that they've played numerous games and then saw, like, what score happens when. Maybe C is low, maybe it's high. Like, I don't fucking know. They need to fine-tune that, and we got time for it. So, yeah. They could... I think what's gonna... I see a bunch of people in chat saying C is too low. So what I feel might happen is the incremental process, which might even be too crazy, but maybe it's gonna be like C, you lose 50%, and then B is like you lose 0. You know, I think they might do something like that. Then maybe not. We will see, or maybe they just fine tune it to like C or something. I know their score calculation system got a lot better over the years with the whole machine learning and everything. I think, like, you can, if you track the OPGG and DeepLol and all these websites, I think their score lines tend to align quite well with your performance. They generally get to figure out whether you performed or not. Like, if you have a good sense that you perform and you go there and look up the score, it's going to be like 70, 80, or here it's going to be like 8.2. You know, the score lines tend to be correct, and Riot Games can get even more correct than that. So, we'll see, we'll see.
You won't lose any
That's a
LP
cool
on a
idea.
loss, or you'll earn double LP for a win.
So for those of you who main less popular roles and therefore seldom get autofilled, first of all, thanks. We haven't forgotten about you. You'll still occasionally receive the Aegis benefit at about the same rate as other players because we want to reward the role heroes who keep the queue healthy and moving. Finally, we know how frustrating it is to be constantly returned to the queue because you get enchained dodges lobby after lobby. So we've made a few updates.
First, after a positive response to our pilot test,
it's
we're
been
removing
years.
the ability to ban a hovered allied champion, taking away an opportunity for...
They told me this when I was at Riot HQ. They told me this. Like, ridiculous. Why is this in a game? And they were like, you were right. And I showed them my tweet from years ago about this. Nice. Okay,
teammate
cool.
to tilt off the planet before the match even starts.
That's true.
And then second, dodging a lobby will no longer allow players to escape autofill. It'll just get carried over to the next lobby.
Nice.
We think that the Aegis of Valor should provide a solid reward for sticking around and trying.
Yep.
So, I mean, come on, it's double LP for a win.
Okay, true. Good.
And at Master and above,
good stuff.
Dodging an autofill will count as a full loss.
We know that this is a pretty big change from how we've dealt with...
Okay, wait a second. Master plus dodging autofill will count as a full loss. Full loss. Okay. That's pretty damn big, man. That's big. That is big. I mean, people will definitely not be dodging autofill now. Holy shit. What are other reasons for dodging then, though? Wow, that's crazy. Replay.
So, I mean, come on, it's double LP for a win, after all. And at Master and above, dodging an autofill will count as a full loss.
We know that this is a pretty big change from how we've dealt with dodging in the past.
Damn! It's been 84 years of fighting this stupid infinite queue dodging time, man. Finally. Finally. I don't know, like, honestly, I think they should just boot it all, like, higher even. They should even do it higher. Like, what the hell? So you can still dodge if you're not autofill, or if, like, yeah, if you're playing your role or secondary role, you can still dodge due to circumstance, due to reasons. And this feels very, very weird. I wonder how they're gonna work with this. This is so fucking cool, but let's think about the negatives as well. if you go in a game and due to circumstance, you get autofill versus non-autofill, and you get a DC, you get horribly punished on one end, and on the other side, it's a very, very mild punishment, basically a non-punishment, because the MMR still stays the same, right? So I'm assuming on the full loss, they're going to count your MMR as well. So it's definitely a step in the right direction, but there's some kinks you gotta work out there. So it's very weird. If your PC bricks out on an autofill game, you're gonna feel so fucking bad, because not only do you get a full loss, but that game, if you played, you wouldn't have lost if you performed, and you had a chance to win the double LP. So a DC on you getting filled is gonna cost you 3 games. If you were to win it, it's gonna cost you 3 games net worth. Okay? So you're gonna go -3 games on that one, which is ridiculous. That is crazy. So if the client bugs out, you will likely uninstall the game if it bugs out on your autofill game. you will uninstall the game. That's just what's gonna happen. And they decided it's worthy enough of a risk to do so. Which, again, I'm more for stricter punishment than no punishment for dodging. So it's a step in the right direction with potential unforeseen circumstances. I think my solution is way more elegant to the dodging conundrum. What the fuck just happened? I think my solution is way more elegant than this, and it actually accounts for all of these stupid events for these circumstances. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think they should punish dodging in Master, like, in general, not just when it's autofill. I think they should do it, like, all the time, basically. Especially if you go, like, through multiple, if you go through the full ban phase and people start picking, and then you're down in the draft, you know? Like, fuck you. You'll lose it. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. It's a step in the right direction. I like it. Let's see. Hello?
And we believe that this will lead to higher quality and faster games. Speaking of speeding things up, we're also speeding up Champ Select by cutting down on timers and animations, which should save about half a minute.
I see what you did.
Bro, can you at least give me LPP? Like, come on. Like, even when I was in Right HQ, like, they talked to me about so many things that I basically said about, like, 4 years ago. they're just doing everything. They're just literally following my playbook. Like, what the fuck? Oh, at least give me an LPP, guys. Come on. Come on. I wrote the book at this point.
To higher quality and faster games. Speaking of speeding things up, we're also speeding up Champ Select by cutting down on timers and animations, which should save about half a minute.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, I did.
A minute? That's so big, by the way. You might not think that's a big thing, but that's such a big thing. And I've been talking about this. This is straight from the Atomic Habits book. Like, when you do the task that you do daily, the time accumulates over time, right? So when you're doing something like as banal as getting into a game and with the dodges, and you shave 30 seconds for every game that you get in, and then you cut back on the dodges as well. For every single time, it's 30 seconds. And given that it's 10 players, you're actually losing 5 minutes of human time per every single one of these stupid games and dodges, right? So you can save so much time, so much time. The ratio of in-game versus out-of-game time in one play session will skyrocket off of this. And this is something I was talking about, again, for fucking years. For years, man. But big change. Love it. Love it. Let's go.
That wasn't enough. We've got one last ranked change. We're adding back duo queue to higher ranks, including Challenger, in most regions.
I don't. This is not for my playbook, guys. They stole this from somebody else. I don't like this one. I'm not a big fan of duo queue in solo queue at all. I think it's impossible to balance. It devalues the rank. It completely devalues the rank. Makes it like the whole point is to put high rank on a pedestal. You want to make it valuable, okay? You want to reward being higher rank. And given that they've said this about the duo queue, now I know that they're not going to offer prizes. Because they themselves know that the duo queue is going to be unbalanced and shit for solo queue. So now I just know that they're not working towards adding the prizes to the ladder, which they should, at the very least, some couple of spots. I don't like this. This is a cop-out. This is an escape tactic for Riot to allow people to interact and content creators to make content together. They want people to collab and play the game together and make content together without having to do the hard work of actually allowing them to have opportunities to do so. They're not going to create arena tournaments, official Riot games. They're going to make an ARAM Mayhem tournament for streamers to play. They're not going to do Twitch Rivals. They're not going to do all of these events where you can collab with the other streamers and create some really, really cool content. They just said, okay, we're going to take a necessary hit to the solo queue integrity value, and you guys can go nuts and just record your silly fucking duo bot lane challengers, like the pro players playing duo in solo queue. It's going to be a little bit ridiculous in that regard. I don't like that. But they're taking an easy way out, the lazy way out. So yeah.
So many people, League is better with friends. And in the past, we disabled duoing at Apex tier rank.
See, now they're going to focus on the positive, which is, oh, we're going to allow you the ability to interact and provide stuff. And there's many ways you can actually allow people to interact together. You can design, you can give custom parameters of the custom lobbies, custom maps. Allow me to change how arena game plays. Allow me to modify the arena games, ARAM Mayhem games. Offer everybody same augment. Everybody plays with these restrictions. Everybody plays on that level. Everybody plays with this. There's that many players, you know? You can make infinite content with just a little bit of a customization on these openings, or like a Riot game standing to certain events and tournaments and inviting people, creating cool events. No, they just give like a wide open access to everybody's solo queue. Just, I don't know. Solo queue integrity is really, really dog shit, and this is going to make it even worse. Interesting. Okay.
Thanks, because it's so often led to rank manipulation.
God damn, this entire patch is like up and down.
We mentioned earlier, as well as the ongoing work on boosting and ranked manipulation detection, we're confident that we can bring back high MMR duoing without it being so abused.
So, call up your friends. It's duo time.
Switching gears, let's talk about Swift Play. Swift Play is pretty popular, and we think there's a lot of room for further improvement. And we want Swift Play to be that place where you can get in a quick game, where you and or some friends can practice new champions, or where new players can come and learn and get their footing on the Rift.
That means Swift Play should still be somewhat competitive while providing quicker queues, faster games, and serving both new and existing players. So, we're rolling out some changes that should address the overall pacing, touching objectives, laning, and the jungle.
To start with, we're bringing over a lot of the changes to Summoner's Rift generally that were talked about earlier in this video, except for role quests. Now, for Swift Play specific changes though, the first thing we're tackling is game pacing. Swift Play games are actually a bit long, and the general consensus is there isn't quite enough action. So things like long death timers, focusing on CSing in lane, and objective overload all take away from the promise of Swift Play. So we want to get you to the action faster and more often.
Now, while some of the season...
Yeah, I mean, like, if you do the changes that I heard just now to the Summoner's Rift, Summoner Rift is going to literally become Swift Play. The games are going to speed up so much that you will fail to distinguish which is which. So I might as well just put like rank on Swift Play. So they have to make Swift Play faster, even more bloodier, to make it more of a meme game mode where people can goof around. Because that's going to be ranked now.
When changes will help address this, you'll also start Swift Play at level 3 with some extra gold similar to ARAM. We're also lowering death timers across the entire game, so you're getting back into the action.
That's a good idea. I like that.
And in order to keep the game from stalling out, we look for ways for you to capitalize on the shorter death windows. So we're increasing the minion spawn frequency, putting cannon minions in every wave after the third, and introducing a new mechanic that we're calling Minion Frenzy.
If you kill an enemy champion near your minions, they'll be inspired by your actions. They'll get enraged and attack faster and deal more damage.
Okay.
We're also going to be making some adjustments to tower durability and making sudden death start a little bit earlier. And thus, Swift. Outside of pacing, we also want to decrease objective overload.
Slow play!
While the removal of...
Can we get slow play mode? And put a rank on it, you know, and make it elo based.
Artican helps. We're also going to be removing the Grubs and Rift Herald.
Baron and Elder Dragon will also be spawning earlier, with Elder spawning at 15 minutes regardless of whether the Dragon Soul has been claimed. The game-ending power of these buffs being accessible much sooner should help in closing games a bit faster than what we're currently seeing.
And with Elder Dragon moving up, the Elemental Rift will transform after 1 dragon, and you'll get the Soul after 2. Finally, rounding out these changes for Swift play, jungle. Now currently, if you're not a seasoned jungle main, it can actually be pretty overwhelming in Swift play. These broader pacing changes around neutral objectives should make it feel much more comfortable, and like you're not being swarmed with objectives all the time.
Now we know this is a ton of information and changes, but
Way
the
too
goal
much.
here is for Swift play to feel swifter without it being so dense that it's overwhelming.
And more player.
We have a dev blog coming out today that will cover all of these changes.
Yeah, we gotta read the items
more
now.
detail behind the specifics, so if you want to learn more, go for it.
Hi everyone, I'm Dashi Jador, product lead, back again to chat about WASD, this time with
the tech lead for WASD. I'm Riot, call me KT.
Now that Worlds is over and we're getting closer to the end of the year, we want to check back in on the wild world of WASD. We've been on the PvE for a few months now, and in that time we've caught and squashed over 100 bugs. All thanks to the feedback we received from all of you creative, maybe a little unhinged PvE players who've been helping us find, identify, and crush all of these pesky bugs. An extra special thanks to the players who are able to re-trigger the notorious new bug. Even beyond bugs, PvE players have been giving us great recommendations and requests.
One Redditor recommended that we add an option to do a single button input to move at a 45-degree
Bro, why is my mouse bugged? Hello? Oh, there we go.
angle up and down the lane. It sounded pretty wild at first, but we found through our internal testing that it actually saved a lot of finger pain. So it will be available as an accessibility option for WASD players going forward.
Okay.
Since our debut on the PvE, we've been continuously updating all the different facets of WASD. We've made improvements to navigating around minions, wall sliding, the new dynamic lock camera, and more. One of these features is a new auto attack system for WASD. With practice and dedication, you'll be able to weave attacks and movement, matching the experience in point and click to reach your optimum DPS. Our goal is to keep WASD as an alternative control scheme at all levels of play, not just for brand new players. We'll be keeping an eye on feedback as well as our internal data to ensure it remains an excellent
It's gonna be really big for the game.
We've also been updating our dynamic locked camera. We've added the highly requested ability to tune the camera speed to your liking. Along with these settings, we heard your feedback on wanting a way to scout ahead, to check for ganks, look at other lanes, and much more. So we've introduced a new feature appropriately named the Scout Ahead mode. When you're in dynamic locked camera, you can hold your middle mouse button to freely move your camera, and you'll snap back on release.
Yeah, cool. Makes sense.
These features, along with all the bug fixes, will be available when WASD goes live tomorrow in all queues except ranked and normal draft games. We're choosing to keep WASD out of draft modes for now, as we want to make sure you can have a smooth...
Yeah, they did say it's going to be rolling out pretty swiftly, but they're going to do it incrementally, which is cool. And I guess the next step would be like regular draft, or are they going to do it combined with the ranked? Very interesting.
Process for your ranked climb.
Really? Tomorrow?
Well, WASD will be live in all unranked queues except normal draft in patch 2524, which for many of you should be tomorrow.
We saw your requests and questions about other features we've promised, like champion-specific keybinds and enabling many of these new features for point-and-click players. We're still working on them, and much more to come.
We're at the point where we want to focus on getting large amounts of player data in order to drive our development further. So we're opening up the feedback channels to our much more global audience. Now, we still don't have the exact timeline on when WASD will come to ranked. We want to ship it when it's ready, which means fair, balanced, bug-free, and smooth to play.
Please keep up the feedback and bug reports.
Yeah, no need to panic. I think it's going to be at least half a year, and it probably wouldn't even make sense to release it half a year in, because it's only going to be one season reset, right? So adding it in a half a year would probably not make sense, so maybe at the start of next year. But yeah, at least 6 months there will not be WASD, so you're fine, guys. No need to panic.
There'll be a few stragglers out there. Only through our powers combined can we find all of them.
That's it for us. Be sure to check back out on WASD when it's live and send your bugs, feedback, and best misplays.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you WASDing on the Rift.
So how are your pickums?
Not great. Bit too much hopium when I filled them out.
I know how it feels, but the hopium is feeling good for me. I think I'm actually feeling great.
Really?
Totally.
Uh-huh. Who's wearing the suit then?
We don't know.
Not gonna be me.
I mean, we'll see.
Good luck.
Okay.
Nice.
We know that this was a long one. With a
Oh
lot
man,
of
that was a long one.
We'll see you again in January, as mentioned, to talk a bit more about Season 1 and a little bit about the rest of 2026.
Don't forget that Ranked will stay open until the new season, so go finish your climbs, have a happy and safe holiday season, and we'll see you on the winter.
Okay, time to check the items. Time to check the items. We have just begun, baby. We have just begun. New tank item, Protoplasm Harness. Taking damage to reduce your health below 30%, cause you to gain 200 max health. 200 max health. Then heal 400. Scaling off of what? Level, armor, MR? Over the duration. While regenerating health, you gain increased size, move speed, tenacity. Seems pretty damn cheap, though. Like, this feels like a Cho'Gath item. Am I crazy? Like, Mundo, Cho'Gath, anybody who interacts with the HP value, with the max HP, right? Because when this procs, you gain max health, which means your ult does more damage as Cho'Gath. That's the interaction. For Mundo, you get more healing because of more health. For Tahm Kench, you can interact with the size, and your tongue lick is going to be bigger. So the size thing is very, very interesting. So that's how the Hexblade is going to look like. 10% spell vamp, 10% lifesteal. Shocks the target, dealing 250 damage, slowing them 25, 1.5. Okay, mild slow, but fairly long. 80, 40. Interesting. Dusk and Dawn. Oh, this is the bunker, yeah? No? Yeah, it is. After using an ability, your next attack deals bonus damage on hit and applies on hit effects an additional time. Yeah, wow. Wow, that seems disgustingly strong. Yeah, that seems disgustingly strong. It's not even that difficult to build. That's crazy, man. Yeah, unironically, like Jax. So, yeah, Yasha and then Sang. It was like the Dota item. Yeah. Yeah, this seems again like the perfect thing for something like Echo. And he just goes and demolishes you. Like, if he builds one item, you don't get to play the game. Wait, what is this? Actualizer. Oh, this is the mana empower thing. While empowered, your spells cost 100% more, gain 18%. This is straight up inspired by the arena augment. So you gain 18% ability damage, and your basic ability cooldowns progress 30% faster. And you get shielding and healing. So this doesn't give you Omnivamp when you click it, it just increases your shielding and healing. Is that it? Interesting. So yeah, this is the item you will buy when you go those tiers, you know? If you're doing like, so here's how the build might progress. You will either do like a buy tier, build rod, finish tier, and then build this. Or buy tier, finish the tier item, buy another tier item, and or buy another tier, buy this item, finish another tier, right? This is how it's gonna go generally. And this 18% is not fixed. This will scale with your mana. So you can probably get this to like 20, 30% even if you have like infinite mana. You'll stack a bunch. This is the tier support item. This is like sauna shit, you know? This is just perfection for... What am... 24.5k. I'm pretty sure this is just like off. You're just not gonna cost that much. It compiles itself. This is the attack speed buff. This is like Braum angle, you know, supporting tank. You can constantly proc this. You can constantly proc it. Like Nautilus goes in, Leona, you know, the classic Rel. It just makes your team follow up and demolish. Bastion Breaker. Yeah, 22 lethality sounds very reasonable, guys. And the item scales with lethality as well. Dealing ability damage to champion every once deals additional 15 lethality true damage. Taking out champion in 3 seconds. Grant him sabotage for 90 seconds. Will have sabotage your next attack against every once return he'll deal additional 840 true damage over 3 seconds. There's no way you can't. No way you don't use this like on a turret or a monster. 90 seconds. insane. Okay. Is this the range thing? Deal up to 10% increase damage with attacks based on how far you are. Max damage 700 range. Okay, when a champion that you damage within 3 seconds dies, gain additional 100 attack range for 6 seconds. So the max is 700. They could have made it even bigger, I feel like. Probably should have been 800, 850 maybe. Gain additional 100 range. So you'll generally be maxing this out. Like, you will almost always be like 6 to 10% in this as an ADC. So I'm guessing that the bonus damage is pre-calculated in it. It doesn't give you attack speed, which is good. That is good. 25% crit and 50 AD. Stat-wise, I feel like they've done a reasonable job at pulling it back. It's a reasonable job at pulling it back. You could build this on Gangplank. Your Q will get the 10% bonus. And then you get, like, scoped weapons, auto attack. Right? Can you build this as a melee? Like, GPQ get increased bonus damage because it counts as an attack. Or ult somebody, you get assist because they died within 3 seconds, you get auto attack ranged. It gives you everything GP wants. GP doesn't care about attack speed. A lot of AD carries do. Interesting, interesting. Okay, Fiend Hunter bolts. This is the ultimate hasting. Your next 3 basic attack gain. Yeah, this is the Zeri thing. The Zeri item we talked about. Interesting. Zolani's Chain Sickles. 5% Omnivamp, 688 tenacity. Championship damage within 3 seconds lines gains 15% Omnivamp. Okay. At least it doesn't give you HP. Yeah, this is gonna be like a later on item that you build on the one-man army champs. Like a Riven that's fed picks this up. Aatrox gets this. Zahen gets this. All these champs that really pull ahead. They just want to like go nuclear, right? Gonna allow for crazy snowball. 3k, I don't think it gives you like crazy amount of stats. Has Riot gotten better at doing these, man? 3k 60 AD, not that much Omnivamp and tenacity. Has Riot actually gotten better at weighing the items down? That might be a good change. Here's the... Oh my god, the Cho'Gath perfection. One of the cleanest skins in the game. I love it. Yeah, this is the Demacia map. These are the things I was talking about during the video. So these are going to be the vision things. Cool. Yeah, tenacity is very, very difficult to evaluate. And generally, it doesn't do that much. Unless you really, really need it. So, I like that this doesn't give you everything, you know? God damn. So many changes!